Hello, Learning Blocks fans. How's my people doing? I'm Miko Sanchez, and welcome to another installment of the World of Blocks. That's right, we are back after a 5-day hiatus because of a vacation that we just had. But that's okay because we've got this in our heads. So thanks for coming by, and welcome to the World of Blocks. Anyways, let's get started, shall we? And in our last episode, we took a look at Queen of the Blocks Chapter 2, Music to My Ears. You want to go check it out? Link is on the top right corner of your screen. But yes, without further ado, let's get right into the episode. Let's get into today's episode of the World of Blocks. Today, we are taking a look at Queen of the Blocks Chapter 3, Chemical Mischief. As we head to Chemland. Oh my gosh. First we met the Color Blocks, then we met the Music Blocks. Today, we're gonna meet the Chem Blocks. So hang on tight. This is going to be one long story you do not want to miss. It might be 20 minutes long, but who knows? It could be a 20-minute story, but let's see how the story unfolds. As always, credit goes on to Infinite Insanity Pit over his DDR page. He was the one who made this series. So thank you, Infinite Insanity Pit. You want to go check out his page? The link is in the description below. So thank you, Infinite Insanity Pit. One final thing, warning, Learning Blocks is the property of Blue Studio Animation Studios, Alpha Blocks Limited, and the BBC. Of course, it is the British Broadcasting Corporation. No copyright infringement is intended. I owe nothing. You have been warned. Thank you for your patience, and now with all that out of the way, enjoy the story, everyone. Queen of the Blocks, Chapter 3. The World of Blocks, Queen of the Blocks, Chapter 3, Chemical Mischief. 5 wanted to go with Iris again today, as she had so much fun in Music Land, upon finding out that the next land was Chemland, where elements of the periodic table lived as chem blocks. 8 decided that he should come too. After all, Iris had said that some elements were dangerous. R decided to come along, upon finding out that one of the elements was gold. Pirates love to seek out treasure after all. The ever-curious O came with her, wanting to know all about the periodic table. None of the blocks were familiar with it, so this trip would be interesting. As it turns out, Chemland was across the sea from Numberland, forcing B, O, A, and T to summon a boat for the blocks to travel in. R took charge of the moment the boat set sail, acting like a true pirate as she steered in the direction of Chemland. XXX. Gold, the king of Chemland, was taking a stroll around his kingdom. He walked through Alka Park, watching his citizens play, and ended up at the beach. He closed his eyes and breathed in the fresh air, his golden crown shining in the sunlight, and his dark red cape swaying in the breeze. When he opened his eyes, he spotted a boat on the horizon. Newcomers to Chemland? Wonderful! Soon, the boat reached the shore, and Gold walked up to greet the blocks that hopped off of it. "Hello," he said. "Welcome to Chemland. I'm King Gold." The red block, who was dressed like a pirate, stared at Gold in awe. "Greetings, King Gold," said the blue and gold block, reaching out and shaking his hand. "I'm Iris, and these are Alpha Blocks and Number Blocks." Gold looked at all the newcomers, seeing that they had letters and numbers on top. His eyes widened as he understood exactly why they were. "You're saying that you're all letters and numbers?" "Correct," answered Iris. "We've been going on expeditions to meet all the other blocks." "Well, in that case, we'll be happy to meet you folks," Bull exclaimed. "Although I must warn you, there's a lot of chem blocks." "Yes, I'm aware of all the chemical elements," replied Iris. "Where should we go first?" "Alka Park is right over there," said Gold, walking onto the grass. "It's where the alkaline metals and alkaline earth metals spend the most time." The group followed Gold through the park as he explained each of the chem blocks present. First was a block who resembled a battery. He was wearing headphones and occupying himself with a DJ turntable. "This is Lithium. He's found in batteries and happens to be the best DJ in Chemland." Upon hearing this, Lithium looked up with a grin. "That's right," he said boastfully, and played a sick beat on his turntable. "I'm quite a star around here." I'm a star too, said Five, pulling out her guitar and playing a sweet riff. This made Lithium's eyes wide as he gazed up at her, at a loss for words. He didn't know who this block was, but she was tall, beautiful, and seemed to be an expert guitar player. Wow, stammered Lithium. You rock! Thanks, said Five. As the group moved along, Lithium watched her leave with a blush creeping onto his face. A half blue, half green block was up ahead, holding an aquamarine shield with an emerald heart in its center. She was with a block who resembled a salt shaker, and a block with what appeared to be a skull on his face. The beryllium is found in gems such as emerald and aquamarine, and acts as a guardian of sorts to the other blocks. Sodium doesn't react well with water. Gold shuddered as he remembered the explosion that had occurred last time sodium came into contact with water. Calcium trades with his bones. He also likes scaring people, but he's very friendly otherwise. The group saw two blocks making fire. An orange one was producing normal colored flames from the end of his arms, and a purple one was producing soft violet fire from both the ends of her arms and the top of her head. Magnesium and potassium are two of the chem blocks who can produce fire. Magnesium's fires are very difficult to put out. Also, potassium loves bananas. A light blue block with pearl bracelets and a red flower on her head sat with her feet in a pond. There's an abundant amount of rubidium in the planet's crust, and although the element reacts violently with water, her black form loves the stuff. A white block with green leaves on his head was giving a lecture to a red block who was wearing a safety helmet and dragging around the ground, now paying attention to what the other block was saying. Cesium loves to spout his own ideas anymore, even if they're not listening, and barium spends his days drilling into the ground and finding treasure. R's eyes lit up at the word treasure. A bluish block with yellow limbs was waving around sparklers, mesmerized by their lights. Strontium loves sparklers and fireworks. The last two blocks in Alpha Park were one who resembled a gargoyle and one who resembled a clock. The features they both share were their bright green eyes and limbs. The gargoyle is francium, and the clock is radium. They're nuclear chem blocks. Gold suddenly stopped and turned to face the group. Please try not to come into contact with any of the nuclear chem blocks. Touch them could have disastrous results. I understand, said Iris. Radiation is very dangerous, after all. It's not just that, Gold ominously declared. We've had an incident in which a nuclear chem block turned into a regular chem block nuclear. By accident, of course. Gold turned to continue walking, but 21 piped up. Can you tell us more about that incident? Oh, well, I actually wasn't alive yet when it happened, Gold admitted, but the chem block who was turned nuclear should be at Metal Gym. XXX. Metal Gym was the favorite hangout spot of the transitional metals, who went there to straighten themselves. Outside were several chem blocks, each doing their own thing. Gold pointed to a dirty yellow block with a bright yellow helmet and a baseball bat. That's Scandium. He's a very talented baseball player. Scandium demonstrated this by hitting a ball so hard it flew up into the sky. The block who had thrown the ball was also dirty yellow, and she wore a pilot's hat and goggles. She hopped into her airplane and took off after the ball, breaking it back down so Scandium could hit it again. That's Niobium. She's our resident pilot. A blue block with a fisherman's hat was fishing in a pond. Zinc is a fisherman. Zinc grinned when he felt a bite, but sighed in disappointment when he fished up another chem block, who was light blue with the features of a fish. And Mercury is a fish! How many times am I gonna fish you up? Complained Zinc, to which Mercury just shrugged. A silvery gray block with a racing outfit drove in his race car against a dirty, yellow nuclear chem block with a leather jacket and a motorcycle. Chromium is the race car driver, and Polonium is the biker. They love having races. The two speedy chem blocks zoom past a mint green block with a stripy gray hat, who was busy golfing. Humph! The block complained. Why can't I ever get some peace when I'm golfing? Tungsten is, Gold began, but his thoughts interrupted with a jerk who keeps bossing others around like he owns this whole place. A golfer. A light purple block skipped along merrily, wearing a mailman's hat and carrying a mailbag. Tantalum is the mailman of Camland. I wonder how he's able to deliver all that mail by himself without getting overwhelmed. A gray block on roller skates zipped past the group. Guess that was Palladium. He's fast as a comet. And amidst everything that was going on sat a block who wore sunglasses and resembled a solar panel. Ruthenium loves to soak up the sun's rays. He sits there by himself a lot. Finally, the group went inside a metal gym, which was full of chem blocks. A plain-looking silvery gray block was downing an energy drink. Aluminum loves sodas and energy drinks. Their cans are made of her, after all. A pink block who was dressed like an anime schoolgirl was sitting on a bench and reading a manga. Manganese loves to refer to herself as... Gold struggled to pronounce this word. Kawaii. Kawaii! Two blocks were sitting on another bench. One was violet and covered in jewelry, and the other was indigo. Both of them were looking at themselves in hand mirrors, completely ignoring everyone around them. Rhodium is the one covered in jewelry, and indium is the one who's, well, indigo. Gold lowered his voice to a whisper. They're both huge narcissists. A white and blue block who looked like she was made of porcelain was working out next to a block made of slime who looked like he was melting into the floor. Cobalt may look like a fragile porcelain dish, but she's quite tough. As for Gallium, he's all gooey and melty, but he's still pretty strong. A blue block with buttons for eyes was with a dark gray block covered in jewelry. She was being careful not to damage. Hafnium had buttons for eyes, which is a little creepy if you ask me. And Rhenium likes to decorate herself with jewelry, which is all totally fake. Hafnium and Rhenium were both trying to copy the ballet moves of a white and blue block with a pink tutu. Iridium is a very graceful ballet dancer. Just look at her go! Ugh. A block who resembled the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz was running on a treadmill next to a block who bore a striking resemblance to Seven. Tin is always going on about how he doesn't have a heart, but in truth he has one of the biggest hearts in Camland. Bismuth has an unusually high amount of luck. He even calls himself the Lucky Rainbow. 5, 8, and 21 all exchanged knowing glances upon being reminded of their friend. If only he was here to see Bismuth for himself. Finally, the group came up to two robotic chem blocks. One had a black visor with blue pupils, and the other wore a surgical mask and head mirror. The latter had the same green eyes as francium, iridium, and polonium, indicating that she was nuclear too. They were both beating up a punching bag. Greetings, titanium and technetium. The two robots stopped what they were doing and turned towards their leader. "Oh, hello, Gold," greeted Technetium, the nuclear robot. "Who are those blocks?" "They're here to visit Chemland," explained Gold. "And they want to know the story with you and Prometheum." "So, you heard?" Technetium waved an arm dismissively. "Well, it's really no big deal at this point." It was a big deal to me," mumbled Titanium. "Basically," explained Technetium, "I used to be a normal chemblock. The first nuclear chemblock was Prometheum, and after he fell down into Chemland, I tried to help him up." She shuddered at the memory of her senses being overloaded with nuclear energy. "But touching him made something go wrong, and now I'm nuclear too." "Oh my!" Iris wasn't sure what to think of this. "I'm sorry that happened to you." "Don't be sad. Don't be. Like I said, it's no big deal." Technetium waved her arm dismissively. "Now the nuclear chemblots aren't allowed to touch anyone. It's kind of sad, but we've all got along regardless." "So, what's the next stop?" asked 21. "That would be Metalloid Mountain. Thank you for your time, Technetium, but I've got more places to show these folks." XXX. After a tiring trek up Metalloid Mountain, the group finally reached the place where the Metalloids were. A golden yellow block with stars for pupils was finally taking photos of the landscape. Germanium is a photographer. She'll photograph anything, with permission, of course. A yellow block with sharp teeth was chatting with a light blue block wearing an Egyptian headdress. "Arsenic may act like she's dangerous, but she's really nice deep inside. Antimony thinks of herself as royalty." He said that a little bitterly, but she's still one of my subjects. A block who resembled a computer chip was explaining something to the two other blocks. One block's head was producing green fire, and the other was wearing a space helmet and appeared to be spacing out. "Silicon is a tech expert and is used in computers' chips. Boron produces a unique green flame and has even been used as a rocket fuel igniter. Tellurium is abundant in space, which explains why he's so obsessed with it." The last Metalloid was up on a cliff, watching everyone below him. He wore a black cloak, his face being obscured by the hood, and he was holding a threateningly sharp scythe. "That block up there is Astatine. Don't worry, he's not dangerous. He just likes to ominously watch others." XXX. After leaving Metalloid Mountain, the group went to Non-Metal Metal. It was a beautiful field of flowers where the non-metal chemblocks spend their time. A light blue block floated by the group on a bubble. Hydrogen likes to appear everywhere, usually while floating on one of her bubbles. A block made of diamond and charcoal was playing with a diamond, which had a face and stubby little limbs. "That's Carbon, and it looks like she's with a Jemmy." Oh, asked Go. "Huh?" Gold didn't understand. He said, "Oh, what's a Jemmy?" translated R. "Well, I'm glad you asked." Speech impaired letter, Jebs. Jemmies are living gemstones. Every gemstone is made up of elements. For example, diamonds are made up of carbon. A blue and gray block was floating around with a pure white block. "Nitrogen and oxygen like to flow around, though nitrogen's a bit loopy." The blue block demonstrated this by falling flat on his face. Two blocks, one yellow and one red, were making fire. The red one produced it from the ends of her arms, and the yellow one managed to make a huge flame burst out from the top of his head. Phosphorus! The red block is what's used in matches. Fluorine is quite unpredictable when it comes to fire, so you better be careful around him, especially when he loses his temper. A yellow block with a farmer's hat and boots was tending to a vegetable garden with a hoe. Sulfur can be found in many foods, so naturally he grows vegetables that are rich himself. A blue and green block with swimming goggles swam around in a pond, while a red orange block with a fire helmet watched her. Chlorine is an expert swimmer, being found in swimming pools, and bromine is good at keeping fires under control. A pink and purple block with a yellow pearl necklace was boasting about herself to a completely disinterested block who was light gray with a dark gray crescent moon on her face. A yellow nuclear chem block with a witch's head used her wand to levitate the pink block upwards, giving a mischievous laugh. Iodine thinks she's the hottest thing in Chemland, even though she doesn't even produce fire. Selenium is another element found in many foods, and she loves the moon. The Minarium is a witch who loves messing with people. Up ahead were even more nuclear chem blocks. A dark green football player and a red demon who were playing a football match against a light yellow kitsune and a pink angel. Darmstadtium loves to play football. Moscovium is the demon. Livermorium is the angel. And Nihonium is the kitsune. A pink harpy and a block who resembled the Mothman were chatting or calling with each other. And a blue block in a funeral veil and fancy dress was standing by herself, humming a soft tune. The Flerovium is the harpy. Organisson is the moth blur block. And Genium is the banshee. Just then, fluorine, chlorine, and bromine, and iodine went past the group. Iodine stopped to talk with Gold. Who are these blocks? She asked. New friends, replied Gold. I'm giving them a tour of Camelot, and Halogen Hall is our next stop. Perfect, that's where I'm going, said Iodine, before she ran off to rejoin her group. XXX. Halogen Hall was a tall building, and inside was a long hallway. Really, what else could one expect from a place called Halogen Hall? Huh? The alpha blocks and number blocks were surprised to see Astatine near the entrance. Why are you here? Asked 8. I'm both a metalloid and a halogen, Astatine explained. He waved his scythe around as he spoke, causing the other blocks to duck out of the way. Most of the halogens were blocks to the group had previously encountered. Each of their rooms were tailored specifically to its occupants. For each room was a gym where he could beat up and scorch as many punching bags as he wanted. Chlorine's was a giant swimming pool. Bromine's resembled the interior of a firehouse. Iodine's was filled with mirrors, and Astatine's was too dark to make anything out. The only new block was a gray nuclear chem block with a cowboy hat, and his room was Western themed. Howdy! I'm Tennessee! Howdy! The blocks all greeted back. XXX. Next stop was Noble Palace, where the noble gases spent their time. However, while the blocks were on their way there, something took notice of them. Something huge. Something with 3 eyes that couldn't examine them closely, even from far away. Soon the creature revealed itself. It jumped in front of the group, and they all looked up to see a giant microscope. "Hello, Scoper!" Gold called out to the tall beast. "These are my new friends, the Alpha Blocks and Number Blocks." Scoper blinked his 3 eyes down at the new blocks. "Fascinating," he said. He lowered his stage down. "Would one of you hop onto my stage? I'd like to take a closer look." O volunteered and was held up to Scoper's eyes as he looked over him thoroughly. His tall showed its flashlight below. O, bathing him in light. "My, you are an adorable little thing." "Oh, oh!" Pet Scoper's head a bit before he was set down. "I'm looking forward to examining the other blocks of your types," said Scoper excitedly. I love discovering new things." After saying goodbye to Scoper, the group reached Noble Palace. It appeared to be made up of clouds, and the interior was delightfully bouncy. The blocks bounced along as Gold pointed out all the noble gases. A red block was floating by a whole bunch of balloons. "That's helium. She's what makes balloons float." A yellow block with teal sunglasses and magenta glow bracelets around his green arms was dancing while waving glow sticks around. Neon loves to glow and rave. Meanwhile, a glowing block with magenta limbs and a blue sleeping cap was napping next to a blue block with a yellow lampshade on his head. "The glowing block is Agron. She's used in light bulbs. The block wearing the lampshade is Xenon. He's used in some lamps." 2 blocks flew by the group. One was green with a red mask and cape. The other was a red nuclear block with pterodon wings. "There's Krypton, and he's our resident superhero. The pterodon is right on, and she loves flying fast." XXX. After bouncing out of Noble Palace, the group left for Lanthanide Lake, where the Lanthanides liked to swim. As soon as they arrived, they were stopped by a light violet block with a dark red hat and scarf. He held a camera in front of the group. Hello, Gold. Who are these?" the violet block asked, his camera focusing on each new block. "Hello, Lanthanum. Hello, Lanthanum. These are some new friends I'm showing around Chemland," Gold answered. Now's not the time to film them," Lanthanum huffed. I'm filming all the time." But he let them be, and they went up to the lake to see several blocks hanging around. A white block who appeared to be covered in jewels was relaxing with her feet in the lake, as was a pink block in a rope. "Praseodymium's jewels are actually fake," Gold explained, "and erbium is used in some skin treatments." A blue block and a red block were playing with magnets, the blue block's pupils being plus signs, and the red block's pupils being minus signs. Neodymium's the blue one, as part of the most powerful magnets in the world. Holmium's the blue one, and has the highest magnetic strength of all the cut blocks. A yellow block with light blue limbs was playing a guitar for 3 other blocks. A yellow and purple block with a chef's hat, a pink and white block with a mountain climber's hat, goggles, and a tool. A blue block with a propeller hat and pinwheel were dancing to the music. Samarium is used in microwaves, headphones, and stereos. She's also a great guitar player. She and 5 should have a guitar battle sometime. The fire of competitiveness sparked in 5's eyes as Gold continued. Cerium is a catalyst in self-cleaning ovens and bakes the tastiest treats in Chemland. Europium is used in low-energy light bulbs and can scale any mountain. Dysprosium is used in wind turbines. That's why she loves the wind. A green block with a black top hat, and bow tie was speaking to two other chem blocks, a blue and red block dressed like a doctor, and a white block dressed like a dentist. Gadolinium is one of Chemland's doctors, the other being technetium. Terbium is a dentist, and tholium pretty much owns all the mines alongside nickel. Just then, a green block came up to the group. He was a nuclear chem block with a yellow explorer's hat and a backpack that resembled 21's. Ooh, who are you guys? We're numbers and letters, 21 replied. A yellow block with brown arms came up from behind the green block. No way! You're seriously living letters and numbers? That's right, said 8. That's trash-tastic, shouted another green block. This one having gray limbs and a trash can lid on his head. Why don't you three introduce yourselves? Suggested Gold. I'll go first, said the green explorer block. I'm Promethium, and I'm a chemical explorer. The group recognized that name, as it was the name of the chem block who accidentally turned technetium nuclear. Well, I'm 21, and I'm a number explorer. The number block almost held her hand out for Promethium to shake, then remembered Gold's warning and decided against it. Nice, said Promethium. I'd like to go explore with you sometime. The yellow and brown block spoke up. I'm Ytterbium. I may be rare, but I can be found in the minerals monazite, exionite, and xenotime. And I'm Lutetium. Said the green and gray block. I love trash. Once all of the lanthanides had been explained, it was time to move on to the place all the regular chem blocks dreaded to go near. Nuclear Chemland. XXX. Nuclear Chemland was a far cry from the rest of Chemland. In sharp contrast to all the bright and lush fields and forests, this was an irradiated wasteland that only the nuclear chem blocks could appreciate. Rats wearing hazmat suits were scurrying around, and Gold explained that they were called Hazrats. Aside from the nuclear chem blocks themselves, Hazrats were the only living thing that could survive here. The group was only a few steps into the forest when they were ambushed by five nuclear chem blocks. They had the features of a mummy, a dragon, a kraken, a beauty imp, and a chimera. They roared and hissed at the group, frightening everyone except for Gold. Really? Guys? Way to make a good first impression, Gold deadpanned. The seemingly monstrous chem blocks quickly shut up. Sorry, Gold. Apologized the dragon. You know how most of us nuclear chem blocks love a good scare. Gold eased his group's worries by introducing all of the present nuclear chem blocks. Gold eased his group's worries by introducing all the present nuclear chem blocks. Rutherfordium is the mummy. Dubnium is the dragon. Seaborgium is the kraken. Borean is the bunny imp. And Hastium is the chimera. The previously freaked out blocks calmed down at Gold's words. Well, it's nice to meet ye hearties, said R. Even if you did just scare us. Gold led his companions deeper into nuclear chemland, and eventually they made their way into an area known as Actinide Forest. Don't be scared, Gold said reassuringly. Remember, the nuclear chem blocks may be like scaring people, but they won't deliberately hurt any of you. A wolf-like block was seen howling up at the sky. That's Actinium. A helmeted block with electric powers was engaged in combat with a fishy block with a trident. Those are Thorium and Neptunium. A block with crazy hair was discussing something with a block wearing glasses and a lab coat. A red block with a green crown and dark blue cape was listening to their conversation. Those are einsteinium, curium, and nobelium. A phoenix block, a basilisk block, and a manticore block flew above the group. Those are protactinium, berkelium, and mendelevium. A white and blue block with a red light bulb on her head was making siren noises, while a block that resembled an alien intimidated her. The two noisy blocks were irritating a nearby vampire block. Those are Americanium, plutonium, and Lawrencium. A giggling magenta block was trying to ignore a green block dressed as a superhero. A blue block with a shell necklace and surfboard was watching them and laughing at the scene. Those are fermium, uranium, and Californian. You don't have a lot to say about these nuclear chem blocks, do you? Iris pointed out. Well, there's not much to say about most of them, admitted Gold. They're not used for much. The final stop on the tour was Gold's palace. As expected, it was made of solid gold and shone so brightly in the sunlight that it was almost blinding. Gold led the way inside, where a silver block who wore a blue mask, hat, gloves, and boots was waiting. She ran up to Gold and hugged him, then noticed the newcomers. Gold? Who are those people? She asked. Not to worry, Silver. They're here on a tour of Chemland, Gold answered. You've been out giving a tour? That's nice. But Nickel wants to speak to you about one of the mines. She's getting really impatient. Typical Nicole. Let's go speak with her then. Gold and Silver led the group through the palace, passing through several rooms. One was the kitchen, where Iron, a gray and red block with a chef's hat, was cooking with Copper, a reddish-orange block who resembled a pot. Zirconium, a pinkish block with a blue cap, was fixing up one of the sinks. Next was an art room of sorts, where Cadmium, a yellow and red block, was painting something on a canvas. Molybdenum, a light blue block with a knack for glass making, was decorating a glass ornament he created himself. Osmium, a poet, was using his quill pen to write down his latest poem, while Lead, a writer, was using her pencil to write something of her own down. In the next room, Vanadium, a colorful mechanic, was fixing up a ray gun belonging to Deuterium, who wore a futuristic space helmet. Suddenly, the ray gun started blasting lasers everywhere, causing everyone to duck and cover. Sorry about that, said Deuterium. That happens sometimes. Finally, the group reached the conference room, where a few chem blocks were already present. A block who wore a top hat and a purple scarf and sunglasses came forwards. There you are, Gold. I've been meaning to discuss. She stopped when she saw who he was. Wait, who are those? She pointed at the strange blocks with her cane. Gold let Iris explain who the alpha blocks and other blocks were. Fascinating, exclaimed the Copernicium, a gray nuclear chem block with some sort of crown and staff. So, my theory was about the possibility of other things being personified as blocks was true all along. He turned to the purple-clad block. Looks like you own me, Nickel. Nickel grumbled. Why are they even here? It was then that Iris realized that she had to inform Gold of her status. Oh, actually, I have something important to tell Gold. The blocks were directed to their seats around the table. Why are you here to discuss? Asked Silver. Iris took a deep breath. I'm here to tell you all about the goddess of this universe. This caught all the chem block's attention. A goddess? Stammered the Platinum, who wore knight's armor. Thallium, who wore a black cape, scoffed. Yeah, right. Why would we believe in some goddess? Well, who do you think dropped you all down into Camland? 5 countered. This made Thalia shut up as he realized she had a point. Who is this goddess you speak of? Asked Gold. Infinity, answered Iris. She made me her successor after she died, and I'm supposed to be the queen of all the blocks. Gold was taken aback, as were the other Chem blocks. Well, this is certainly interesting news, he said, not knowing how to properly respond in this situation. We're looking to unite the blocks of Infinity, continued Iris, explaining the 4 other types of blocks she'd met so far. Copernicium's eyes sparkled. I must take notes! He pulled out a pencil and pad of paper and began jotting everywhere he learned down. I'd love to meet these other blocks, said Platinum. What do you think, Gold? I would like that too, he said. We should establish good relations among each and every land. 16's planning a huge party in Neverland for all other blocks to attend, 21 mentioned. I like that idea, said Silver. I know it must be overwhelming to rule over all other blocks. But Gold here can take care of the Chem blocks at least. Gold nodded. Today's been wonderful, and I believe that you made a great ruler for the blocks as a whole. Oh, and feel free to contact me if you need to. I'm sure Tantalum would be excited to deliver mail from outside of Chemland. XXX. The Chem blocks had one last surprise up their sleeves. Before Iris and her group left, hydrogen and oxygen were brought to the beach to demonstrate the Chem block's main power. Alright, girls, take it away, instructed Gold. Hydrogen stood next to Oxygen and split herself into 2, with the clone standing on Oxygen's other side. This combination made a puddle of water appear in the sand. Ta-da! The 2 hydrogens exclaimed before fusing back into one. Well, that reminds me of word magic, said R. So you can make anything using the right combination of blocks? Iris now had to deal with another group of blocks who could bend reality into their will. Yeah, it's pretty cool, alright. Gold took great pride in his people's wondrous abilities. It is, agreed 8. Well, it's time to set sail back to Neverland. Goodbye, the Chem blocks called as the boat floated away. Goodbye, Iris and her group called back. Man, meeting all this Chem blocks was a bit exhausting, said Iris, but it was also really cool. I know, right? 21 was excited, going over all the notes she'd taken. I wonder who's next for us to meet. To be continued. Yes, that's right. It's over already. After 43 minutes of storytelling, this video is finally over. So yes, chapter 3 is finally complete. Thank you so much for watching. Please go check out the other episodes you might miss out on. If you miss any episodes of the World of Blocks, link to that is on the top right corner of your screen.
Boring.
Totally not boring.
Totally boring.
It's not that boring.
Totally.
No, it's not. But anyways, I'm anything else that you yourself, and thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time for another episode of the World of Blocks. Next time in the World of Blocks, we move on to Queen of the Blocks, Chapter 4, Twinkle Twinkle. That's right, we're going to Starland next time to meet the Star Blocks. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. You're not going to miss it forever here in the World of Blocks. I'm Miguel Sanchez, and as always, remember to please leave a like, share this video with your friends, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also turn on notifications to never miss a new video. Yes, right, you gotta please subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on to never miss another new video from me, as we're on the road to 200 subscribers. Thank you so much for watching this nearly 45-minute video. I will see you guys on the next one. Doesn't suck. Anyways, I'm Miguel Sanchez, and I will see you all very, very soon. Have a good one, guys. Bye for now. Laters.